The University of Nebraska at Omaha has been around for more than 100 years, and the buildings help tell the story of its upbringing. Today, we take a look at the oldest building on the UNO campus and how it's become the world's first air-conditioned university. Good afternoon, I'm Simon Risto.
And I'm Mackenzie Parsons. Coming up, we explore the impacts of the recent Medicaid decision in Nebraska and how it would help local families with rising costs.
All this and more right here on the Omaha News.
From the studios of UNO Television, this is the Omaha News, presented by UNO School of Communication.
On November 6, Nebraska voters approved Initiative 427, which expands Medicaid eligibility in the state. Omaha News reporter Carissa Lauber is live in the studio to tell us more about what the expansion means for a local family.
A Bellevue mother tells the story of her two daughters who have a rare genetic disorder and what the expansion of Medicaid means to them.
Raven and Holly Gentle have one of the rarest diseases in the world.
They both were born with cataracts on their eyes, so that's a consistent thing.
Warburg microsyndrome is an autosomal recessive genetic disorder that only a few hundred people have been diagnosed with. The illness causes difficulties with vision and brain development.
Neither of them have been able to maintain nutrition orally, so we have to do tube feedings.
Raven and Holly's mother, Courtney Berg, is a nurse for the Veterans Administration. She has caregivers who assist the girls' needs nearly 24 hours a day.
A person coming in that's not in healthcare would automatically think that they don't have feelings, that they're incompetent. They are very capable of showing emotion.
The Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services says Nebraska Medicaid provides respite and childcare to children with conditions like Raven and Holly. However, some families face complications after their children become adults.
It's like this fight to figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to get it covered. It's difficult for people that don't have another insurance that covers some care.
Nebraska voted to expand Medicaid, meaning adults with income up to 138% of the poverty level will be eligible for coverage.
I think some bridge programs and expansion of those programs makes sense to me.
With the expansion of the program, disabled children like Raven and Holly will be eligible for coverage when they reach adulthood.
According to healthinsurance.org, about 90,000 people in Nebraska are expected to become newly eligible for Medicaid coverage. Mackenzie, Simon, back to you.
Thank you, Carissa. Firefighters continue to work to contain fires in Southern and Northern California.
The Northern California fire, dubbed Camp Fire, has claimed 48 lives so far and has become the deadliest and most destructive wildfire in the state's history. 2 lives have been claimed in the Southern California fire, dubbed Woolsey Fire.
While the causes for the 2 fires have not been determined yet, the state is investigating incidences reported by 2 utility companies shortly before the fires started.
So far, Camp Fire is 35% contained and Woolsey Fire is 47% contained.
The Arts and Sciences Hall was constructed after UNO outgrew the former campus on 24th and Pratt Streets, but students were more excited about the building becoming the world's first air-conditioned university. Reporter Mallory Bart takes an in-depth look at how the unique air conditioning system played a role in the history of the Arts and Sciences Hall.
The Arts and Sciences Hall was a major upgrade to Omaha University's former campus that consisted of only 3 small buildings, some of which were so crowded they couldn't employ enough janitors to keep the buildings clean. Les Valentine, an archivist at UNO, said the building was an incredible increase in facilities for students.
It's hard to talk about the Arts and Sciences Hall without talking about what things were before.
Located behind me is the UNO Arts and Sciences building, which was built in 1937, and it's arguably one of the most iconic buildings on UNO's campus.
I thought, well, you know, we went from this place that served the university well and did what it could, but to this new campus. It was like, whoa, look at us. You know, we're somebody. We're OU, and it just really sparked pride, and it just sparked pride, and they enjoyed them. The students enjoyed themselves more.
The area where the Arts and Sciences Hall is located off of 60th and Dodge was chosen by G.H. Payne because of a historical artesian well on the property. Payne campaigned for the use of geothermal resources, namely water, to cool the building during the hot summer months. The building was designed with the proposed air conditioning system in mind, which included air shafts underneath the building for air circulation and a cupola on top of the building for air intake. The cupola, the white tower on top of the Arts and Sciences Hall, was the main air intake for the air conditioning system. The air came in through the cupola, down air shafts where it was filtered, washed, cooled, and humidified by the artesian well water. Chief engineer at UNO, Dave Meredith, said the cupola played an important role in keeping the building cool.
Well, the cupola is part of the system as far as that was where your relief air left the building, or does leave the building.
The air then traveled through large tunnels under first-floor halls, eventually leading to classrooms and offices. While the air conditioning system was revolutionary in 1938, the cupola acted as a large vacuum for the building, and if doors or windows were left open, the system would not work properly. The artesian wells provided the water that cooled the air. The water was directly piped to cisterns, which are large storage tanks that are buried underground. The water was naturally cold because it was located deep underground, and it would become warm after removing heat from the air.
And then that warmer water was used for irrigation outside the building.
One artesian well is located directly north of the Arts and Sciences building. Another is near Kaiser Hall. The third well is hiding in plain sight between the Arts and Sciences Hall and the Epley Administration building, right off of the sidewalk.
I mean, where else could a well be? But in that, it's a perfect location. It's between the two structures.
Many renovations have occurred since the building opened because it was originally designed for an entirely different air conditioning system than the one used today. For the Omaha News, I'm Mallory Bart.
The artesian wells also air-conditioned other buildings on campus, including the Epley Administration Building and the SAP Fieldhouse. The Arts and Sciences Hall will undergo additional air conditioning renovations next summer.
Coming up, we take a look at the future of journalism and the impact it has on our everyday lives.
And next, we explore different options farmers in Nebraska have when it comes to soil and types of farming.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
There is a spark inside every one of us that seeks to create and express ourselves. A spark that burns with the desire to capture our imagination into reality. And there is a place where that spark can grow. 13th Floor Magazine. We are not just for writers. Join us and share your passion with the world.
Social media can be fun, but it can also be a powerful tool. At the UNO Social Media Lab, we work together to advance our understanding of social media and technology on the UNO campus and beyond with research application services such as real-time social media tracking, social media listening, and assistance on how to work with first-party social media tools such as Twitter and Instagram analytics. We have also consulted and collaborated with communities in Nebraska to help them leverage social media to work for their communities.
Habitat for Humanity of Omaha brings together hard hats, paintbrushes, and volunteers to give people like Candace the key to their dream home.
Welcome to my home.
Find your reason to volunteer.
I like to volunteer. I volunteer.
I volunteer because I think it's important to give back to the community.
Pick up that hard hat and start changing lives.
Thank you, Habitat for our home.
Volunteer with Habitat for Humanity.
The University of Nebraska at Omaha is a place for tomorrow's leaders. A place where individuals converge on a path to success, getting the attention and direction they need as they begin their career. It's where students take pride in serving Omaha, a city we've invested in for more than 100 years. UNO is a place where greatness begins. The University of Nebraska at Omaha.
This is the Omaha News.
Well, nearly 50,000 Nebraskan farmers have decided what management practices to use each year. Reporter Charlotte Riley takes us to rural Nebraska, where researchers are studying how no-till farming methods could help prevent soil erosion.
To outsiders, Nebraska seems like one long cornfield on the way to Colorado. To Nebraskans, those fields are money in the bank.
You can see your return from your work, and it's rewarding.
University of Nebraska at Omaha student Dylan Klein is helping farmers see that conservation and productivity go hand in hand through a study of tilled and no-till fields. No-till fields are covered in crop residue, but soil in tilled fields is broken up and exposed.
In the process of breaking up that soil, you lose the aggregation, which is the natural way a soil clumps together.
Dylan studied how till and no-till soils hold on to nutrients after rain.
The major difference was no-tilled soil does hold on to moisture better. It's less compacted, it's more aggregated. No-tilled soil doesn't hold on to nitrate, nitrite, or phosphates any better than tilled soil, but it does hold on to dissolved organic carbon better.
The residue, or leftover corn and bean stalks, act as armor against heavy rain events.
Since 1860, we've lost the top 12 inches of soil in this county. It's down the Mississippi River to Louisiana, and we don't even get a Christmas card from those folks.
No-till farming methods have started to catch on with Midwestern farmers like the Fawns. Patrick Fawn hopes the methods he's using today will keep the soil profitable for future farmers like his son Liam. For the Omaha News, I'm Charlotte Riley.
45 million acres of farms and ranches cover the state of Nebraska. Agricultural conservation techniques are essential to keep Nebraskan crops growing.
University of Nebraska public officials say they do not expect mid-year cuts for state funding early next year. The university's Board of Regents has endured mid-year cuts for the past 2 budget years due to weak state finances. The state government has projected $5 billion in revenue for the next fiscal year, which is $69 million more than what was expected. Per student state funding for higher education has declined by 25% since 2008 for more than a dozen states.
Journalism plays an important role in American democracy. Omaha News reporter Will Patterson covers a panel and speaks with a national reporter about the state of journalism and politics.
Nebraska Humanities hosted a panel at the University of Nebraska at Omaha to discuss journalism and its relationship with democracy. The panelists included Omaha World Herald reporter Henry Cordes, Dr. Victoria DeFrancisco Soto from the University of Texas, and Washington Post reporter David Farenthold.
We thought we really succeeded in bringing together different perspectives from, the Washington Post on down to the World Herald.
Audience members were given pamphlets outlining rules for civil discussion.
Clearly, these people are very passionate about working in journalism, and the audience shared a great interaction with them.
Farenthold covered President Donald Trump's campaign during the 2016 presidential election.
I was really interested in questions about trust, like how do people know to trust the news? What do we do that makes people sort of trust in us when there's so many other things out there that look like us but are not?
One criticism of the national media that Farenthold maintained was the certainty so many outlets treated the election with. He believes that many Americans change their voting habits or their non-voting habits based on the ideas being circulated.
Also, I think people sort of recognize now kind of belatedly the idea that our culture of political journalism was kind of the horse race. It treated all kind of as a game. And
this panel marked the third of 6 events hosted by Nebraska Humanities to encourage conversation between professional journalists and the public. Sommerich says he hopes to develop a better understanding of Nebraska's relationship with the media through these sessions. For the Omaha News, I'm Will Patterson.
The next Journalism and Democracy event will take place November 28th at the Nebraska Innovation Campus in Lincoln.
Coming up next, we go to Maverick Sports on the Omaha News, where our sports news team talks about Maverick men's soccer, volleyball, and men's basketball.
Plus, we also talk about a new member of the women's basketball team who's making strides on the court.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
No More Empty Pots is the only one of its kind in North Omaha. With the purpose of providing kitchens, classes, and various resources for local chefs, this nonprofit values the relationships between themselves and the community. Current renovation will create space for community gatherings as well as a kids' kitchen, where there will be various classes offered. No More Empty Pots aims to fight poverty with chefs at every level. To find out more, visit nmepomaha.org.
I never thought I'd be standing in the clouds looking down on the ancient ruins of the Incan Empire. I never thought I'd live among the street artists in Valparaiso. I never thought I'd make friends that would last a lifetime.
Adventure's out there, and as Mavericks, it's up to us to find it.
Stop thinking, start doing. Visit educationabroad.unomaha.edu.
As a student, it's good to know you have support wherever you go. To have a simple and direct way of seeing that next assignment. To have an easy way of knowing where you're headed to next. Or just how quickly you're going to get there. The UN Omaha app is everything a student needs, just a tap away. Download it today on the App Store or Google Play.
No one can understand the life of a woman in the developing world better than another woman in any part of the world. Because while the struggles may be different, they're also very much the same. The struggle to be equal and to be allowed to realize your potential. At CARE, we've found that when women are empowered, it's one of the fastest ways to address poverty and help the world move forward. If you'll just reach out and lend a hand, you won't believe what you can start. She has the power to change her world. You have the power to help her do it. Visit care.org.
Good afternoon. I'm Ellie Brecht, and this is Maverick Sports on the Omaha News. Last year, the men's soccer team won its first ever conference title in a penalty shootout against Denver. This year, Omaha was the number 2 seed heading into the conference tournament. Maverick sports reporter Ray Cook gives us a recap of the results from last weekend in Denver, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado. That was the site for the Summit League men's soccer tournament this past weekend, as the Omaha Mavericks opened up the tournament against Purdue Fort Wayne for a spot in the finals against the number 10th ranked team in the country and host, Denver. The Mavericks found themselves in a tight game against the Mastodons, with the game being scoreless until the 70th minute when a cross off the foot of Diego Gutierrez found Marcus Batista's foot, whose shot curled in the net for the game winner. A bit of controversy and video evidence showed the ball actually go off Noor Hamadi's head, and he was credited with the game-winning goal.
Hey, I score, he scored, it doesn't matter who scores. We score for our own team, you get me? We're a team. We all going to the final. We end this together. Let's go.
Following the Mavericks' win was a trilogy we know all too well. Omaha and Denver battling it out for the conference championship. Omaha, the defending champions, couldn't find the back of the net against the stifling defense of Denver. Back-and-forth play produced a plethora of opportunities for both sides, but a 15th-minute goal from Denver was the only score needed. As the hometown Pioneers got their revenge on the Mavericks, Omaha's second-place finish ends its season, and first-year head coach Bob Warming had trouble finding the words to describe just how heart-wrenching the loss was.
Really proud of the guys for what they've done this year. This is a hard one to take because I thought we deserved better.
Asked about the loss of seniors Billy Hoffman, Noor Hamadi, and Denzel Woods, Warming acknowledged just how much each player means to their teammates and the program.
The biggest loss is their personality. They're 3 wonderful guys with tremendous hearts and love for this team, and love for our school. They love our school.
The loss of 3 seniors will be something to watch as the Mavericks head into the offseason, looking to replace vocal leader Denzel Woods, while also building upon the progression of players like Martin Vez and Diego Gutierrez. Despite its second-place finish, Omaha will hope to build upon its 3-5-1 home record here at Caniglia Field when they take the pitch next August in weather that hopefully doesn't look like this. For Maverick Sports on the Omaha News, I'm Ray Cook.
Omaha's official record for 2018 is now finalized as the Mavericks finished 7-8-1. The Maverick volleyball team topped off their impressive conference season with a win this past Sunday against Oral Roberts. They will head to Denver for the conference tournament this weekend, where they face their first opponent, North Dakota State, on Friday night. In action tonight at Baxter Arena is the Omaha men's basketball team, as they go head-to-head against Northern Arizona at 7 p.m. The Mavericks have so far posted a 1-1 regular season record after a tough loss to the Minnesota Gophers and a convincing weekend victory against Buena Vista. The Mavericks women's basketball team is adding some credibility to their program after scoring a freshman player who has experience playing for the Cyprus national team and also is a 4-time national champion and 2-time Cyprus Women's Basketball Player of the Year. Maverick sports reporter Brittany Calvert talks to the freshman about her experience overseas and at UNO.
Elena Pilacuta played 24 minutes in the Mavericks season opener. She was the third leading scorer with 12 points, and she had 7 rebounds and 1 block. Playing D1 basketball is a huge accomplishment for Elena, who started playing basketball just 8 years ago. In this short time, she has also been able to add playing on a national level to her resume.
My first tournament was when I was 16 years old.
Elena was a member of Cyprus U16 and U18 teams and helped lead her team to the 2017 FIBA U18 Women's European Division C Championship, where she averaged 12 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. Elena is adjusting to playing basketball in the U.S., which she feels is more fast-paced and physical. In Europe, she feels like it is more of a mind game.
Have a lot of plays and for one game, and you don't have to be like in full speed in practice.
The Mavericks head coach heard of Elena through a friend and knew she was going to be perfect for the team.
And I called him and said we were looking for this type of player, and he brought her up to me, and Elena and I just really clicked from the first time we spoke.
Elena started as a freshman in her team's first exhibition game and season opener.
Well, she's earned it. She's absolutely earned it.
It's a great feeling because you feel like your coaches trust you to start for a game, and I have to work hard to keep being a starter this year.
For Maverick Sports, I'm Brittany Calvert.
Coach Lang says she's very impressed with what she has seen in the Cyprus Stars so far, and she's excited to see what she does for the Mavericks in her 4 years at UNO. That's it for Maverick Sports. Simon and Mackenzie, back to you.
Thanks, Ellie. As the cold starts hitting the state, people are trying to take action to make sure they're ready for the road.
Coming up next, one reporter shows us the best ways to help prepare your car for the winter months and what to do in case of an emergency.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Organization dedicated to confront prejudice, bigotry, and discrimination.
With educational programs that raise awareness, foster leadership, and encourage advocacy.
We are building a just and inclusive society.
Since 1938, we have served Nebraska, Iowa, and parts of South Dakota through our leadership and inclusion programs for youth, community,
and
workplace development.
Our mission and programs remain as relevant today as when we began 80 years ago. Dedicated to confront
American comic book writer, editor, and publisher Stan Lee died Monday morning at the age of 95. Lee began his business in 1939. He created and co-created a variety of beloved comic book characters, such as Spider-Man, Black Panther, Iron Man, and the Fantastic Four. Lee's daughter says they were working together on a final superhero, Dirt Man, before his death. There's still no word about his funeral services.
According to a Google consumer survey, the first day after a snowstorm carries more risk to drivers for serious accidents than other snow days. Reporter Analia Ramirez informs us on tips to make sure your car is ready for the winter.
It's best to start prepping your car before you're stuck in a winter storm.
My biggest fear is my windshield wipers not working when I need them to.
UNO student Nia Huntley is not a fan of winter, but finds relief in knowing her car is in the best condition.
Number one priority is to bring in my car to get inspected before the cold comes around.
Winter storms often bring heavy snow, bitter cold air, high winds, low visibility, and slick roads. Joseph Hilton, technician of Elite Transmission and Auto Care, tells us what winter means for cars.
You got to worry more about letting your car warm up in the morning, scraping off your windows. Batteries usually will either die on the hottest day of the summer or consequently on the coldest day of the winter.
Something like picking out a windshield wiper fluid may seem simple, but some people may not know.
Different types of washer fluid that frankly will freeze.
There are many things you can do to make sure your car is prepared. But to start, check your coolant, battery, and tire pressure. Fill your wiper fluid, replace your wiper blades, change your oil, and put together an emergency kit to carry in your car.
It's essential to have an emergency kit in the back of your car, just in case you ever get stuck during a winter storm. You should have some jumper cables, some water, a flashlight, some shoes, some blankets, and anything else you think you'd need if you were stuck out in the cold.
No one will ever be prepared for harsh driving conditions, but one thing Joseph wants everyone with a car to know is,
if you have a four-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive car, don't think that you're Superman. Just because you can get going, it doesn't mean that you can stop.
For the Omaha News, I'm Analia Ramirez.
Drivers are advised to slow down no matter what type of car they're driving in. Nearly 76,000 people are injured every year in vehicle crashes during snowfall or sleet. That's all we have for today. Be sure to come back in 2 weeks for more and exciting stories on the Omaha News.
Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at UNO the Omaha News or on our website at unomahanews.com.
From all of us here at UNO Television, thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.
PRSSA is the Public Relations Student Society of America. We are a professional organization to help students develop their PR skills. You are learning those communication skills. You're out in the community doing community outreach, different service projects. PRSSA creates community.
PRSSA is networking.
PRSSA builds experience.
PRSSA is UNO.
For more information, go to unoprsssa.com.
As a family, even if you have the exact same diagnosis as the rest of the house, your experience is going to be vastly different.
It took a while, but we're here, and we're in the Ronald McDonald's house, which have been great help for us and for a lot of families here.
You've always known you were a leader, someone who works hard to achieve your goals. You can see it. You can see your success in front of you. You pursue a college education for the old-fashioned reasons, to learn, to make yourself more valuable, to succeed. You need a place that celebrates your ambition and positions you alongside visionary people just like you. You, my friend, belong here, the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Matchbox, matching tie to matching socks. You don't know why, but you're really special to match point, match game. You and I are not the same, but I can tell that you're really special to me. There is something I can give to make you laugh, to help you live. We're the perfect match, and you're really special to me. We're the perfect match and you're really special to me.